Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that quietly shapes almost everything you do with AI, whether you're writing an email, analyzing a report, or planning a project. It's called a context window. Now, that phrase can sound technical. People will throw around words like tokens, compute, and processing power. But the idea itself is simple. A context window is how much information an AI can keep in its mind at one time. The recent messages you wrote, the instructions you gave, and the files you attach, so it can actually use them while it answers you. And to really understand it, you don't need a computer science degree. You just need to think about cooking dinner. Imagine your kitchen counter. Your counter is the AI's working space, the place where ingredients, tools, and steps can stay visible while you cook. The context window is how big that counter is. And here's one technical term you'll hear all the time: tokens. Tokens are just the little chunks of text the model reads, kind of like measuring your ingredients in scoops. Some words are 1 scoop, some are 2, and punctuation counts too. So when people say, "This model has a longer context window," they often mean it can fit more tokens on the counter. For a long time, using AI was like cooking on a tiny counter in a cramped apartment. You can chop an onion, slice a tomato, lay out a knife and a cutting board. But the moment you bring out something bigger, like a roasting pan, something else has to move. And that's what happens in long conversations. Not because the AI is careless, but because it runs out of working space. Some earlier details fall off the counter. Now here's what changes with newer models, like the latest Gemini versions. They don't just give you a bigger cutting board, they give you a bigger counter. So more of the conversation, more of your instructions, and more of the details can stay in view at the same time. Another term you'll hear is prompt. A prompt is simply what you ask the AI to do, like telling a cook, "Make pasta," or "Make a salad," or "Use only what's in the fridge." And sometimes you'll hear system instructions. Those are the house rules of the kitchen, the guidelines the model is supposed to follow no matter what, even when the conversation gets messy. And let me be clear, this is not long-term memory. This is working space, what the model can actively consider right now. The model also has something else called parameters. Sometimes people say weights. That's not what's on the counter. That's the cook's skill built through training. It doesn't store your conversation. It's more like the know-how the cook brings into the kitchen. Now let's add something related but separate: multimodal. In the past, AI mostly worked with text, like a cook who can only read a recipe card. But multimodal models can take in more kinds of inputs: images, PDFs, diagrams, even video, depending on the model. And yes, those inputs also get turned into something like tokens, too. You can think of it like taking a photo and turning it into little note cards the model can place on the counter and reference while it works. And when those inputs fit in the context window, the AI can consider them together, on the same counter, at the same time. And that brings us to the real advantage: better analysis. When you have a tiny counter, you rush, you react, you do the next step and hope it works. When you have more space, and when the model is designed to reason more deeply, it can slow down. One more famous term: attention. Attention is basically where the model is looking on the counter, what it's focusing on among all the notes, instructions, and details. With more space, it can keep more things visible and focus more intelligently. It can compare sources, track constraints, cross-check details, and explain trade-offs. Not just add eggs, but here's why timing matters, and what breaks if you change it. So why does this matter to you? Because it means you can give the AI a real pile of information: meeting notes, strategy docs, contracts, customer emails. You don't have to perfectly organize it first. You can put it on the counter. And then ask a better question. What changed? Who decided it? And what risk did we miss? So this moves AI from a tool that simply retrieves information to a partner that helps you understand it. Thank you for watching. For more AI topics explained simply, please subscribe.